brown bed.
And welcome to the Nightly Show. Stick by for the impact of the phone band, the great outdoors, an album review of the Talking Heads, and more.
You won't want to miss this. After years of determination, Becky dated elementary music teacher Claudine Lewis finally achieved her lifelong dream of becoming a competitor on Jeopardy on October 7th. Her students, both current and former, cheered her on and took pride in seeing their teacher represent the Francis Hall community on national television. Lewis competed with fellow contestants TJ Fisher and Slade Gilmer and answered 14 questions correctly, ultimately walking away with $2,000.
Lewis's run on Jeopardy was a great display of St. Louis's community on the big screen. The same sense of pride can come from a trip to the STL Foundry, a popular destination for St. Louis residents since its opening in 2022. With food, concerts, and art, it's a vibrant marketplace that adds joy to its community. Locals and visitors alike gather there to experience its lively atmosphere and diverse mix of vendors. Prakul Bhattarai and Theo Nielsen take a look at how the Foundry has become more than just a place to shop or eat. It's a cultural hub that brings people together and reflects the spirit of St. Louis.
The St. Louis City Foundry, opened in August of 2021, has been an integral part of the community since its opening, giving people a plethora of options for food, shopping, and entertainment. It is widely considered one of the best places for gatherings, meetings, or dates in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, it's like a food court. You got different options, and then outside there's like a strip mall type deal where you can go and shop and walk around. They do like a bunch of events. There's a trivia night on Thursday nights, and then every Friday and Saturday they also have like live shows. So they do like live music, and you can actually sign up to be like a DJ if you want.
The first time I came here actually was just, I saw that it was a new area. I actually wanted to get pizza, and I tried the place that's in the corner.
Home-based in St. Louis. We do a bunch of like truck events, like food truck events, and my boss also gives a lot of food donations. Tornado that hit the other like couple months ago, we did a bunch of donations for those food. The foundry itself is like an old abandoned warehouse that they repurposed, and if you like look around, there's like a bunch of pipes and stuff around, and they just reuse a lot of parts. It gives it like a nice vibe in here.
I think between Putt Shack and the large checkers and chess, pretty good place, for kids as well as a family. My main thing would be, I've told several people, just come, walk around. I mean, obviously if it's a family type of event, just walk around the big circle, you'll find something.
Thanks, Prakul and Theo. Recently, the current presidential administration offered a funding deal to 9 major universities. Stretching from California to Massachusetts, these universities were offered, quote, substantial and meaningful federal grants. In exchange, these colleges will be forced to, quote, abolish institutional units that purposely punish, belittle, and even spark violence against conservative ideas. The compact's exact requirements and benefits are still quite vague, but this hasn't stopped it from sparking passionate discourse on the subject. Conservatives see the compact as a step forward in equality and inclusion of right-leaning voices, whereas progressives call into question the sincerity of this deal, skeptical that it may be used as a form of propaganda or indoctrination.
Politics has been increasingly heated over the last couple months, and it's easy for people to get carried away worrying about decisions outside of their control. When things feel tense, the best medicine is to take a deep breath and do something that makes you happy. Here with a step-by-step guide on how to make banana muffins is Nicole Badra.
These are the ingredients you'll be needing to make banana muffins. Half a cup of butter, 2 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 4 tablespoons of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half a cup of chocolate chips, and 2 ripe bananas. Then you want to add your butter, and then your 2 eggs, and then vanilla extract, and then combine. Add your brown sugar, along with your white sugar, and then combine. And then add your bananas. And then add your flour. And then add your baking soda along with your salt. And then combine. Chocolate chips. And then fold your chocolate chips. Then spray your pan. And then add your muffins inside the pan. And then you want to bake for 18 to 22 minutes at 325 Fahrenheit. And then enjoy!
Thanks, Nicole.
Nights. Registration for winter sports is due October 19th. Don't forget to go to the FHN Activities website and fill out your paperwork before it's too late. To compete in certain winter sports such as wrestling, basketball, and winter guard, you will need to take the impact test by October 17th. The impact test is made to measure cognitive function and prevent future injuries.
With winter just around the corner, it's more important now than ever to soak up the sun while you get the chance. Let's take a look at a video at the Busch Conservation Center and the importance of nature by Riley Aldenderfer and Camden Blair.
The Auguste Busch Conservation Area is 7,000 acres of wildlife reserve. And with the constant expansion of human development, this place is more important now than ever for the people and creatures of Missouri.
This is preserved green space along with Weldon Spring Conservation Area, which is our neighboring conservation area. We have about somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 or close to 15,000 acres of green space here. So that gives people recreational opportunities, whether they want to go hiking, fishing, bird watching, hunting. It gives people in the St. Louis and St. Charles metro area an opportunity to do that. Plus it provides wildlife habitat. So we have places for deer, turkey, birds, and reptiles and amphibians to live. So it kind of keeps the balance of nature. We have nature, but we also have recreational opportunities.
This area of wildlife isn't just important for the creatures that inhabit it. Some claim that there are great benefits to those who spend time out in nature.
So that's why areas like this are so important, and getting outside in nature is very important to the health, both physical and mental health of people.
Well, I would say it's very nice. It's safe. It's and there's a lot of variety out here. It's a lot of things a person could do. And, there's a lot of picnic areas. There's places for kids to play, playgrounds and such as that. And, but then there's also there's some good fishing out here.
Whether they want to go fishing, they want to go kayaking, they want to just sit down and have peace and quiet among nature. So nature is very important for people because it provides that. Being out in green space really helps people with their mental attitudes, their stress levels, their mental health. Everything is improved by being out in nature.
And a lot of people are tied up in things that probably get themselves in a lot of trouble, youth especially. And I think it's a good, wholesome activity. If we could get, more kids involved in it, I think that'd be a great thing.
If your planet isn't healthy, you're not going to be healthy. And nothing else is really going to matter if you don't have a sound foundation. And I think the planet and the environment and the earth is that sound foundation that we need to have before we can really be fully effective at tackling a lot of other problems.
Thanks, Riley and Camden. The Anheuser-Busch family has contributed to more than just conservation areas, however. Grant's Farm, a historic attraction in Greenwood Village owned by the Busch family, recently had its annual Oktoberfest last month. The event attracts thousands of visitors each year, and this time was no exception. Oktoberfest is a celebration of German heritage, but also a sign of the changing seasons and the transition into autumn. For more info on the importance of Oktoberfest, check out the multimedia piece on the website by Peyton Thies, Katie Paul, Olivia Ablin, and Riley Aldenderfer.
Just a week ago, the critically acclaimed album Remain in Light by the Talking Heads turned 45 years old. Here's a video by Mia Oldani to talk about the creation of the record, its relevance to pop culture, and her own thoughts of the seminal album.
Hi, I'm Mia. I listen to a lot of records, and today I want to talk to you about the most important record in my collection. Please give a very warm welcome to the Talking Heads' fourth studio album, Remain in Light. Released on October 8th, 1980, with the help of Sire Records, this is the Talking Heads' third and final album produced by electronic legend Brian Eno. Talking Heads consists of, let's see if I can guess them properly. David Byrne, that's David Byrne. Chris France, Tina Weymouth, and Jerry Harrison. Got it. They were kind of famous for blending punk, funk, and Afrobeat. That'd be really funny if the third one rhymed. They did really help define that new wave sound, especially with speaking in tongues, This Must Be the Place. Remain in Light was recorded in a couple different places. They started in the Bahamas, for why not, And then they moved to New York where they all lived. And one of the main takeaways from the recording process is that they used special looping techniques before computers could do it. So they were just kind of doing it themselves, which is really freaking cool to think about. The album art that is probably on your screen right now being panned, ooh, look at my camera work. I'm so talented. Was designed by Tibor Kalman. The Wikipedia described bad boy of graphic design, which is a total oxymoron. The album cover originally featured World War II bombers, but was then changed after the album's title switched from Melody Attack to Remain in Light. The final version that we know today with these red masks is inspired by literally Tina Weymouth's love of masks. Remain in Light's tracklist is as follows. Born Under Punches is inspired by John Dean's Watergate testimony, full of preacher-style rants. Cross-Eyed and Painless is about losing your identity. The Great Curve is cryptic and poetic, possibly about wisdom being revealed through a goddess figure. Once in a Lifetime is a classic about time passing by, one of their biggest hits, by the way. Seen and Not Seen is a spoken word track about a man reshaping his identity through pop culture, believing it's perfectly natural. Listening Wind tells the story of a guy named Mohique. The Overload is their attempt at a Joy Division song without actually hearing Joy Division. Now that I've told you everything that you could possibly wonder about this album, even though I left out a lot of it because my script was too long, what are my thoughts? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I love to tell you, because I love to talk. Remain in Light is literally, I'm not even kidding, my favorite album of all time. I know the last review I made, I said that Spiderland is the most important album of all time. This one's my favorite, and I mean it. Mean it. It is so fun, dude. It's so fun. This is I think the reason why I'm a little bit weird, other than my family, but it's just so much fun. The reason why David Byrne and Brian Eno made this album is because they went to an Afrobeat festival in Africa, and they were like, I want to do this. And then they made an album together doing it. Crazy. It's also it's a really easy listen. You can just put it on the background. I do. While I'm doing my makeup in the morning, I'm listening to it. But it's also a deep experience when you when you're really listening and being okay, what is the instrumentals? What are the lyrics? Talking Heads really push boundaries and surface new genres. And if you haven't listened to that, let's fix that. And if you don't want to do it for you, do it for me. Thank you for listening to me ramble. The link to this record on Spotify is in the description. Please, please, please go check it out. I'm begging you. Have a great night.
Thanks to myself. Wow, that video was so awesome, wasn't it?
I mean, I'm not a huge music guy. I'm more into the sciences of the world.
Gotcha. Then you're gonna love this. The 2025 Nobel Prize winners for chemistry, physics, and medicine have officially been announced. Highlights include the Nobel Prize for Chemistry being awarded to the development of metal organic frameworks, which could potentially lead to capturing water from desert soil in the future. The Physics Award went to work on quantum physics being displayed in action, which paves the way for a new generation of quantum physics work. Finally, The medicine award went to discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance, which reshapes modern immunology and opens new paths to treating autoimmune diseases.
With every new school year, changes come, and some are received well, some not so much. With the recent building being instituted and updates to previous norms, some feathers are bound to get ruffled. Let's look at a video by Vanessa Ng and Sophia Johnson that discusses one of the biggest changes with the new school year.
On July 9th, 2025, the Missouri State Legislature and Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe passed Senate Bill 68, a law requiring students to stay off of personal devices throughout the entire school day in an attempt to benefit learning.
We have a lot of students who cannot seem to function without the use of their phones, cause them to have anxiety and just a lot of different things that can impact their education.
You look at the phone or you feel the phone and you think, oh, there's something else I can be doing. And that's taking you away from the learning. Learning requires deep processing. Deep processing requires you to be able to stay on task.
Besides trying to refocus instructional time in public schools, the statewide phone ban has posed challenges to how students, teachers, coaches, and parents communicate with one another.
We knew in the summer when they dropped it on us, athletics and clubs were the first thing that came really to all of our minds. How to talk to one another, if the game has changed, if they need to move the location of practice. So within school, we've had to increase our announcements. We have announcements sometimes twice a day. We have an extra phone that has been put into the main office so students can come in and call their parents at any time.
A prevalent concern about communication at various public schools is the issue of cell phone use during an emergency. Senate Bill 68 allows school districts to define emergencies for appropriate phone usage.
In emergencies, they can only be used in school-designated emergencies, but like what constitutes emergency as school-designated, right? Like why is it up to the school? So I will say like in the incidents of like a mass shooting, God forbid, or like something dangerous, we could see it like harder for like students to reach their parents.
Even with all the setbacks that come with the new phone ban, the law has seemed to encourage more face-to-face communication.
In like new classes, like I would only talk to like my friends and the people that I would know. I wouldn't like make new friends in classes, but like now that like I'm forced to talk to new people, I've made like a lot of new friends, and I just feel more connected with like my school.
It just leads to better real communication with people, right? You can communicate on your phones after school if you want, but we're right here, right now. And one of the benefits of being in person in school is having real interactions with other people that you may not have chosen to interact with online or run into online. You're here and you can learn a lot from experiencing perspectives from people other than you that are just a natural outgrowth of being in school.
Thanks, Sophia and Vanessa.
Make sure to follow us at FHNtoday on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like and comment down below on what stories you'd like us to cover in the next episode. Once again, I'm Ben Bartels.
I'm Oldani, signing off.